Okay, so today is Thursday, August 8th, and I'm noticing a particular glare on the Golden Witch over there. Might be, I don't really know how to fix that. Um, what have I been up to this past week? This has been my first week not having to deal with the bar exam since May. Not having to, I guess there's that little bit of thinking about it and stressing about it because I don't have my results yet. But I haven't really thought about it or stressed about it that much. Like, look, I put in the work. I was there and did the thing. It's done. I'll find out when I find out. I feel good enough about it that I genuinely am going forward thinking I passed. And if I did, fuck yeah. If I didn't, it sucks. I will be upset. I will be disappointed. I also know it's not the end of the world. Um, I had said there was like a lot of things I wanted to do in the month of August. One of them was watching Atlanta and finishing the last two seasons. I actually haven't watched that much of it. I've seen the first 3 episodes of season 3. I really need to get back on that. First episode was wild. That's 3 slaps. That's the Aquarius episode. I didn't feel like I was watching Atlanta, and part of that is the main cast isn't in it, and part of it was this just, I guess I can't say that because there are episodes of Atlanta that feel like horror episodes, like almost like a horror short film. Teddy Perkins is one. What was it called? It was like The Woods. It's the Alfred episode where he ends up getting lost in the woods at one point. There are episodes that have that kind of vibe, but this episode was so deeply uncomfortable and concerning in a way that even Teddy Perkins wasn't. I was like, oh, this is a great episode, but I don't think I like watching it very much, man. um, so I need to make more progress on that, but I have started. Jose and I are going to be watching My Adventures with Superman Season 2. We've seen the first 2 episodes. We didn't get to it yesterday. I told him today that after work, like when we're both done, hopefully we'll be able to get a good amount done. I don't think we're going to finish the season. I think there's 8 more episodes. But I would like to get a solid 3 to 4 done. And if we feel like we can do more, we can do some more. I did finish Worm. I made my 30 and 31 video. I put them together. As I said in that video, I do want to do a few other Worm-related videos. And also, I know I'm going to be talking about it a lot when talking about Project Horizons. I haven't started reading that yet. I'll probably do that. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight. I'm assuming probably around Saturday. Maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking probably around Saturday. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I haven't started Xenogears yet either. That I think I'm for sure going to start on Saturday. I'm very excited for that. What else? Okay, so I think in terms of the stuff I was talking, that's kind of it. And like writing, when it comes to Orichalcum, as I've said, like I was kind of going chapter by chapter. There's a point in chapter 5. Yeah, and about the ending of chapter 5, I'm very stuck on. Like it's an action scene, and I think it's fine. But I had Clay look at it, and he's like, it's fine, but I think it could be better, so it should be better, which fair enough. And I'm just getting really stuck on it. So I'm like, you know what? I can either keep banging my head against a wall in this scene, or I can move on. So I decided to move on, but instead of going to chapter 6, I just said, I want to go ahead and start. If I'm going to have to rewrite the 3rd act, let me go ahead and start that. So I did the first chapter of that, and I like it. I actually like it quite a bit. And I'll probably start that in the next chapter, because I finished that yesterday. I will probably start that chapter, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow or Saturday. I guess I'm starting a lot of shit on Saturday. For Severance, we got a couple more sprites in. I haven't gone back to editing it yet. I don't know exactly how I want to do it. If I just want to do like Orichalcum, then go back to Severance. If I'll be like, I did just finish an Orichalcum chapter, let me hop on to Severance and do a chapter. I might do that. So maybe I won't do that next Orichalcum chapter on Saturday. Maybe I'll do Severance. So we'll see there. So just other shit that I did this week. I played more Tekken with the boys. Tekken is very fun. I don't really know how to Tekken. I'm not very good at juggling, and every character has like so many fucking moves. Like there's a lot here, but I find it so fun. And I think what I really like about it is it's just I'm just having a good time with my friends. And it feels like we're all at more or less equal skill level. Like I've won a lot of matches with my friends. I've lost a lot of matches with my friends. And it's like we're all getting better, I think. Or at least we're staying about the same, but we're doing it together. And I like that. Like it's a very communal experience. And from what I understand, that's just kind of the vibe of Tekken. Like I remember watching this video. I don't know if it was specifically at Evo, but I think it was some kind of like fighting game tournament. And it was like, here's what happens with Smash players. And you just got them like staring at the screens. You just hear nothing but the clicking of controllers. Like they are just locked in, focused, and robotic. And then you see like the guys playing Tekken, who was the music, like they're just dancing to the music. I think there's a point where like just stopped fighting, started vibing, and then went back to the fight. And I think of that every time I think about Tekken. I'm like, this is so awesome. So there's that. I mentioned those. Oh, right. Oh, I definitely have to talk about that. So, Hasi, you know about that. Blah, 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 blah. I've been listening to a lot of Euphoria lately. I guess quick story on that. I don't remember if I brought this up. I watched this 3.5-hour documentary. I can't remember the name of the... Sorry, I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel. But it was this 3.5-hour documentary about the history of hip-hop, the career trajectory and arc of Drake and of Kendrick leading up to the beef and the beef itself. And it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And that was what I did the night before the bar. It's like, I need to calm down. I need to relax. So I watched this. And I've been listening to Euphoria in particular pretty often. I just really fucking love that song. But anyways. So, I think it was last Friday, I said, I'm going to see if I can play Celeste 64. Because it's been out I think it came out in January. I know it did come out earlier this year, and I tried to download it before, but my computer went, there's something weird here. And I remember asking Clay, I was like, can I try it on your computer? Like, maybe my computer's just weird about it. No, it didn't work on his computer either. So last week, I tried again just to see if did the issue get fixed? Is it playable? And whatever virus aspect of it has been removed or is no longer seen as one, I can play it. And I thought, you know what? I want to see if I can stream this. Streaming is something... itchy face. Streaming is something I am interested in doing. It's something I've been interested in for a while. Because I remember back at law school... It's something my friends told me quite a few times. Like, you're so animated and expressive when you play video games, even when you don't have an audience. I think you would be, like, really naturally good at this. I was like, let me put a pin in that for, like, 10 years, I guess. And I thought, Celeste being one of my favorite games of all time, it's not a one-to-one Celeste, it's in a 3D setting. Like, this is something I care a lot about. It's something I'm very passionate about, and I haven't experienced it yet. So I think this would be really fun. Let's give, like, my fresh impressions, my experience with this. Let's go. And if you've seen the video, I apologize because there's nothing to see. There's no audio, and I understand the issue there was I had the microphone plugged in, and the default option had the name of the microphone, so forgive me for assuming that fucking worked. But it's like, oh no, actually, you were supposed to click down and click the thing that actually said microphone, because the name of the microphone is not the microphone itself. As I said a lot in that playthrough and in that session, when I kept dying, I was like, you know what, you live and learn. Sometimes you die and learn, but at the end of the day, you learn. So I learned that. This is what I have to do for the audio. I have no idea what the problem with the video was. I shared because I know on YouTube you can stream and share a tab, which is what I did for the Nintendo Direct, and the audio was fine, the video was fine. Here, it was just like the first screen of the game, and it didn't show any of my gameplay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna be like, dude, my gameplay was worth watching. I was cooking it. Like, no, I died a lot. But I don't want to say it's super frustrating because I still had a good time playing it. But it was like, oh, I did all of that. Like, I did all that recording, and like I thought it was recording. Like, I was talking, I was having a great time, and oh man, that's just like tears and rain. That's completely lost. And I tried to tinker with it and fix it. It's like, okay, like, can I get this on the tab? No, that doesn't work. What if I share my whole screen and go into that? Okay, it does. But then I was watching the stream, and maybe it's because like I was watching it on my phone. I don't know. I mean, I've seen streams on my phone. There wasn't a problem. But I was watching it on my phone while I also had it recording on my laptop, and I noticed it was the video was very delayed, and I don't know how normal that is. Again, like, I'm very new to actually trying to stream. I was like, this feels really delayed, and the frame rate seems really clunky. I haven't watched it back, and maybe if I watch it back, I'm like, oh no, it actually flows really well, it's fine. But, it's something I would like to get to the bottom of. I guess for Celeste, you want to get to the top of it. But it's something I want to figure out what went wrong, how do I fix it, like with the audio issue, so I could do better next time. I still want to do that birthday Madoka Maguka stream. That I don't think will be as much of a problem because it's just like, yeah, here's Netflix or Hulu, like whatever I use. I'll probably just try to use Netflix. Here it is. Share my screen. Boom. I think I'll be able to do that, no problem. If there does end up being a problem, we'll try to figure it out in real time. There's that. On Tuesdays, it was two days ago, there's a place out of town, a pizza place called Andolini's, which it's pretty expensive, but I think the pizza is very good and very high quality. And Jose, a week or so ago, was like, hey, you know what? To celebrate you doing the bar, like, do you want to go to Andolini's? I will pay for you. And I really appreciated that. So we just kind of got like a lot of the squad together, went out, had some pizza, just had a good time. And so for me, this was both a celebrating being done for the bar, hopefully a celebration speaking into existence that I passed the ding dang thing. And also, since my birthday's next week, I'm like, I feel like this was kind of my birthday celebration. I'm hoping I'll see some of my friends on my birthday or like around that time. But I'm like, I feel like I don't need to hang out with a bunch of people on my birthday because I went ahead and did that. Which I mean, if anyone wants to like be there in person while I'm watching Madoka, that'd be great. If they want to join the stream, that'd be great too. But it's almost like, hey, cool, I hung out with everyone, I had a great time. Now I can watch Madoka Maguka in peace. There's one more thing. I know I say with two fingers. Okay, so I feel like I brought this up after the cruise. I remember talking to Billy, and he's like, when you point, always use two fingers, because when you point with one finger, it looks very rude. It's less rude when you do it with two, and I'm like, I think maybe he's right, because doing that does feel rude. Doing that somehow does feel kind of less rude, and I don't know, I've tried to get more to the habit of pointing with two. But anyways, let me try that again. During my studying for the bar, I really noticed how difficult it was for me to lock in, to just focus on what I was doing. I understood how important it was. I was able to get hey, Bubba. I don't know if you can see behind it. I understood it's like, I need to get this done. This is important. And I did a lot of studying. I reviewed outlines. I made my own outlines while listening to the lectures. I added to my outlines, doing the multiple choice questions. Like, oh, okay, I got this question wrong. This is why it was. Oh, yeah, he is right there. You can't see him. I understood why I got this wrong. Let me put this explanation in the outline so it kind of sinks in my brain better. When I look over the outline, I'll look over this, etc., etc. But I did notice it's really hard for me to just focus. And I started to wonder, okay, this wasn't the first time I wondered it, but it came back into my head that, do I have ADD? Do I have ADHD? One, the other, both? Because if I do, it's something I should probably get fixed, or I guess addressed is probably the better way of saying it. And if I could get that addressed soon, before taking the bar exam, that would be great. Just something to really help me in like my 11th hour of studying. So I had went to my doctor to get screened for it, and he's like, so I notice, and I guess the best way for me to really be able to explain it is, it was a few years ago. I remember a friend of mine thought that he might have it and got diagnosed. And that kind of put something in my brain going, wait, you can get diagnosed as an adult? I thought this was just a thing that, you know, you find out when you're a kid and you've either got it or you don't. Huh. And he talked about, you know, like how he felt when he was on his prescription. I don't remember what his prescription was. And how, you know, it's something that did really help him. And it kind of got my wheels turning, like, huh, maybe this is something I should get checked out, and I never did. Then sometime later, like, again, that was a few years ago, this was then a couple months ago, I watched that JJNW'S video, where she was talking about her adult diagnosis of ADD, I don't know if it was ADD, ADHD, or both, and how she's like, yeah, you know, like, at school, when I was younger, you know, I was, like, a good student, I was always able to focus. And then I went to college, and that just kind of wasn't happening as much, and I feel like I have trouble focusing, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And it was just, the more she was talking about it, the more I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Huh. And then she talked about when she got her prescription, and how calming it was. And how the thing I remember her saying is, it's not an exact quote, I haven't rewatched the video, it's something along the lines of like, wait a second, this is how other people feel all the time? What the hell? Like, dude, this is crazy. And I was like, huh, maybe this is something I really need to check. Because if I can, like, I don't want to say that I'm broken, but if I can fix me, at least to some degree, or again, like, address the issue, I would like to be able to do that. So I had went to see my doctor, and I talked to him about how some of the symptoms I think I have, but it's something I never really had thought about before, and he was very much like, so it's something that, you know, it's like, a diagnosis can be missed. It's something you can have as an adult. But if you're only noticing these symptoms now, maybe, essentially what he was trying to say is, are these symptoms that you think you have, or is this shit that, like, no, you actually have? Like, maybe what we should do is go to, like, a mental health specialist and get a screening for it. So it was like a week or two later, I went to, like, a mental health specialist and got screened for a bunch of different things. Like, all right, anxiety, got that in spades. Depression, got that in spades. Do have ADD, do have ADHD. There's another one that's like a maybe, because there's some symptoms, maybe not all of the symptoms. And thinking of it later, I'm like, no, maybe I do actually kind of have that symptom. Not as sure, so I won't really go into detail on that one. But it's like, okay, ADD, ADHD, let's see if we can get you some medication for it. So, because Adderall is a Schedule 2, like, amphetamine, the nurse practitioner that I was speaking to couldn't prescribe it to me directly, so I had to make another appointment with the doctor, and that was after the bar. So I was not able to use any like ADD medication during studying or during the exam itself. But that appointment was Monday, and yesterday I got my medication and I was able to try it. I felt so calm. It was amazing. Like I had said earlier, like yesterday I finished writing a chapter. And like I had Clay look at it, he had some notes on it, so I'm like, all right, let me try to address some of those notes. As I sat down and started to write, normally what happens is there's a lot of noise in my head. There's a lot of like this thought, like, oh, okay, do this thing, and then do this thing, then do this thing, but maybe you should do this thing. And there's a lot. And it was calm. It was just like, no, just do this. And like I could feel the buzz and like all the other just like the storm of thoughts trying to appear, and it was like there was this wall like keeping all the noise away, like, nah, I got you. And it was really nice. I ended up getting called into a meeting for work because of some stuff that hey, there's some stuff we need to do tomorrow. Want to make sure like you're up to speed on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And before the meeting started, I remember having a conversation with Clay about some of the stuff I wanted to do today. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have a meeting and it's going to go great and blah, blah, blah. And then I stopped and said, that's weird. I just said I was going to have a meeting and that it would be fine and go great. And it did. And most of the time when I have meetings, they go fine. They go great. But I'm always so anxious and wound up that I'm like, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? That's what's going to happen. And I get like super like, anxious and not okay about it. And here I was like, no, it's going to be fine. Like, not to say it's not a big deal. Like, it's important, but it's going to be fine. I can handle that. Of course I can handle that. And being able to like unironically think that is different. And it was really, really nice. There was a point where I was sitting watching Clay play Kuro, and I looked at my hand and noticed how still it was. Because I'm a little fidgety right now, but like I'm a very fidgety person. Like if I'm sitting down, it's like my hands are almost like always moving, almost playing with something, or even just like doing this. Like my legs and my feet are like very much like tapping and moving. I'm not always like getting up and running around, but I have to move. I hate sitting still. And I had noticed, like, I'm sitting still. Like, I'm not moving. I don't need to move. Like, I'm looking at my hand going, like, dude, are you okay? And my hand's like, dude, I'm fine. I guess that's how my hand talks. I'm like, this is different. This is kind of nice. Like, I went into the bathroom at one point to wash my hands, and I saw myself in the mirror. I was like, huh, I look really nice today. That's not something I normally think when I see myself in the mirror. I'm like, huh. Maybe my anxiety and depression was really just a symptom of my ADD. Is this what people feel all the time? What the fuck? This took me 30 years. This is awesome. So, I sincerely hope that this is something I can expect to feel like. That it won't be like, yeah, you know, the first time it was... I'm hoping it's not a Baconator situation where I took the first bite and thought this is the greatest bite of a burger I've ever had. And then as I kept eating, I was like, oh, it's actually just kind of okay. It was just a magical first impression. I'm hoping that it stays good and helps me. I hope it's not something where I'm like, yeah, like, this is really helpful, and then after a while my body's like, I'm kind of used to it now, it ain't working no more, because I don't like how that sounds. But, and again, this has only been the first time and first impression. But what a first impression it was. Like, it just, like, there were so many moments throughout the day where I could just tell that normally this thing would bother me. And it would annoy me. And it would be a small thing. And I know it would be a small thing. But I would just magnify it into being way more impactful on my day than it actually was. And instead, it was less than a minor annoyance. So it's just like, oh yeah, that happens, moving on. Like, this is incredible! So, feel like something I should say as a disclaimer. Number one, as I said earlier, this is a prescription. This is not something I'm just taking. I mean, it's Adderall. You can't just take it over the counter. Don't just try. Like, don't. If this is something that sounds like it would help you, speak to a doctor about it and be honest with your doctor. Don't try to just say shit to take a drug, because that's not okay. That's not a good thing to do. If you feel like you need help, go ask for it and try to get it, but don't lie and be honest about it. Obviously, different drugs were, like, every body is different, every mind is different. Just because this one is working for me, at least so far, doesn't mean it would work for you. You can try. Talk to your doctor about it. I don't want to be saying, like, dude, everyone go do this shit. It's just using it once. I saw, like, almost immediately what it did for me, and I sincerely hope it continues to do that. I think that's it. So I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to start getting ready for work. Y'all have a good day.